If this is how all the matches are going to be, I don't know what to do with my heart because it's beating faster than ever. Because this is how Clash Royale pros know they have tricks up their sleeve. But the action's not over yet. We are ready for the next match, and I'm really excited about this one. So put your hands together for Team Peru first. All right, the one who's ready to conquer it all, maybe. Please welcome Team USA.
The MVP is mine. Let the games begin.
I'm pretty sure both the players are ready, so I would just wish you both all the very best, and you guys may now take your seats. There's the appreciation, as we just see, but now comes the main game. Who's going to move forward? Who's going to take one step back and rethink their choices? Questions are many, answers will be given here, but for that, let's get back to our amazing talents.
All right. Both these players absolutely ready. And yes, we are as well, because this is one of those games where actually our wants could come true. We might get to see those expos, we might get to see those mortars, and all of that coming into action.
You know, USA is the only team who has showcased a different deck every game that they have played.
Yeah.
They have done immense amount of homework, which I believe even all of the teams combined here haven't done. In terms of prep stage, yes, USA right now is at the top. But does somebody just come in? I mean, at this stage, it's just Peru. Does Peru just come in and say, okay, USA, don't worry, you have done enough homework, class work, I'm going to take care of it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think USA, I think we met the players also,
Yeah.
and he was looking very, very confident. And he did say that RG was his favorite deck. And I'm pretty sure his opponent must be aware of the same.
Yeah,
and RG deck is something that I've also been wanting to look forward to. It's another one of my favorite decks, still in my staples, in my cycles all the time. So really excited to see if he actually brings that right from the get-go, or he waits for the next game.
I don't think he's going to play RG. Maybe it's his favorite deck, but
Yeah.
since everybody knows that there will be a counter ready. So
Could be.
rather not risk it, play something else,
Yeah.
secure your spot, and then maybe if you make it to the grand finals, just, since it's your favorite deck, take the risk, play it once.
Take it. I mean, we would love to see something crazy, of course, to happen in this particular game. But then again, moving ahead, this is going to be a very high-octane matchup because, we have been talking about the US, but Peru is not, again, another team to be trifled with. So they have also some strong players from their region and the best coming in. So it is going to be one hell of a matchup. The players are absolutely getting ready, and we'll get into the games pretty soon. But before that, we did talk about what has been happening so far. So we began with India taking on Indonesia,
Yep.
with India getting a victory in that one. And then we saw Senegal up against Benin, where Senegal had a very convincing victory, a 2-0 at that. But the third game was the spiciest of them all, because this was filled with a lot of twists and turns. But eventually, in a match where Kazakhstan was going up against Tunisia, Kazakhstan ended up getting a victory.
I think Kazakhstan, they did a very, very good job of controlling the tempo of the game
Yes.
overall. Yeah, game one was not in, the entire control of Kazakhstan. He did make a little bit of mistakes, and there Tunisia just flourished like anything. But since the second game, I believe that tempo control was very well done. Now, this is another factor which many players actually don't take into account. Are you dictating the game, or are you reacting to it? That comes in so crucially at a very, very timid point in the game. But so far, the games have been really intense. It's not totally been one-sided. At times, for maybe a couple of seconds, it's been one-sided. But overall, I really believe when we move on forward to the next stage, maybe to the next round of the winner brackets, things could definitely change. There could be some serious level mistakes made, and that nobody would want. And that could happen on only one condition. somebody lets the pressure get to their heads.
Yes, that could be definitely the case because even in the previous game, we saw what happened with Basit, right? For a moment, it felt like, that one little pixel where maybe his net kind of glitched out or something, and he was not pleased about it. And that is where Kazakhstan also pressed in because all it takes is that one Inferno Dragon to just connect, which eventually happened. And if you have no answers, if you're out of Elixir, then you're pretty much done. I think, Inferno Dragon being one of my favorite cards because I know the amount of damage that I have dealt, the amount of towers that I have broken. So, yes, I think that was a very nice one. But then again, what do USA have in store? So, we did talk about the Mortar deck, the Expo deck, all of that into play. But barring that, are we missing any other fan favorite deck?
I think we've seen Bandit overall. We have seen, I believe we've covered a little bit of mixture of every deck, that's been there in the meta, at least for the last 6 months. But a clean deck is something that we haven't seen, like the meta decks that we used to see before. Nothing has been replicated, Fixes, and I think that is where the game has completely changed in just a couple of months.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely has happened. And, what's going to happen next is what gets me excited because USA, like we've been saying, right? You guys tell us. So what do you think USA is going to come up with? Are they going to go with the RG deck right from the get-go, or are they going to save it for later? I'm still waiting that the match just gets started so that we get more clarity on what these players are coming up with.
I always say this whenever I'm in any tournament. Wish we had a button to just start. We just jump in, we enjoy the game, but everybody just seems to keep it away from me because I'll start the match as soon as I get my hands on it. But so far, like we were speaking about it, Fixes, we have seen so many variations. We've seen the Goblin drill control. We've seen mixtures there. What have we not seen? Which nostalgic card, Fixes, do you want to see in play?
I mean, for me, it's always been the Hogs. Oh, the Mini P.E.K.K.A. We haven't seen a Mini P.E.K.K.A.
Exactly.
I think one of the OGs, for sure. And we haven't even seen the Lava Loon deck.
Yeah, we haven't.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see a good Lava Loon deck.
We haven't seen a minion deck.
Oh, yes.
So there's still a lot of variables to be played with.
All right, game number 1 already begins with Wallace from blue representing USA. And then we've got Erik from Peru in red over here. So a little pressure from the right-hand side. Both of them going with those furnaces, those goblins being deployed. And a Royal Ghost from L comes into play.
The Royal Ghost, as always, will try to get up close and personal. But now, the Valkyrie just simply sweeps everything. No value found from the initial 2 cards, but I believe that was a setup. Well, another Evo card in play. The Mega Knight. Barbarians being used as bait, the Goblins also being used as bait, but a good time zap will shut down everything. That Mega Knight won't be surviving. Yeah, it gets taken down eventually.
Yeah, the Spirit Empress doing the damage. But now even with the Furnace, that came really in handy. So far, not a lot of damage has been dealt by either of the sides. So it's still a contested matchup. But if you just talk about, the Goblin Heart, this time a little bit different movement made in the cycle. The poison being deployed. So Wallace hoping that he can get a little bit more damage there.
I'm not too sure what Wallace is trying to do. He has just one card to be showcased forward. Now the hero also has been played, as you can see. Erik, the representative from Peru, will try as hard as possible to push that Mega Knight forward as quickly as possible. A good slam, and that takes down all the pressure on the left-hand side. But again, another slam, the Valkyrie. Good timing found. Ooh, a good smash as well. Oh my god, this Mega Knight will go in close. Yeah, not a lot of damage done, but still value found.
Yeah, still value found though. And this is where Wallace will be hoping to build it up. Oh, Graveyard also deployed on the right-hand side, applying pressure from both the angles. And look at this. Even the hero goblins going through, but now, all right. The big knight drops down. Counter again. And look at this, we're heading into overtime with not a lot of damage done, especially in fact, to look at it, Peru right now has the lead.
Yeah, Peru now has the lead. Wallace trying his level best to make a play. We were talking about how strong USA is. All the study being done. Again, the Royal Ghost in play. This Ghost goes close. Valkyrie in trouble. Valkyrie won't even be able to step on the other side. And the Ghost will clean it up. Fire Spirit being played. So far, nothing gets done. A good fireball lands. And that is a chunk of damage done. The Evo Valkyrie doing a lot of work on that Mega Knight. And that Mega Knight will eventually fall.
Ooh, another graveyard, and this is again a cycle that we have seen. Him trying to pressure it from the right inside. And the Mega Knight this time not deployed, but this time they want to go with their own attack from the left. The Ram Rider coming through, a defensive Goblin Heart being placed over there. Evo Furnace also coming out. And again, a push from the right inside, but still 40 seconds for this match to end. And Peru might just win because this push looks quite promising. The Valkyrie standing at its path and the Fireball being deployed. Is that an expensive commitment? Because just 800 HP and this could come very close, Captain.
Yeah, it's going to be super close. The graveyard coming in at the perfect time. 483.76. Look at the HP getting drained. One more skeleton in and it's done. 29 HP just remaining. And the skeleton and the graveyard will be cycled back. What a comeback from USA. Wallace will close it. And now you know why they are the Goliaths in this tournament. USA definitely coming back at the last second. But really, really great comeback.
Amazing, amazing comeback. This is what we wanted, right? We did talk about fireworks at the display and USA delivered that. Imagine, for a moment it felt like it was just Peru having that control. And in that last moment, I think it all came down to that one fireball that was being thrown. It felt a little too desperate there because the moment he did that and he did not get enough value, that is where Wallace knew that, okay, this game could be mine. I have the elixir on me. Let me just go for the commit. And the moment he did that, I think he got his result.
You know, I was kind of shocked that he saved that graveyard spell till the very last second. I mean, you played it at as the last card. Nobody expects to get played with the graveyard at the very last card, as the very last card. But so far, you know what, Wallace, hats off. Great game coming in. First game has been won by US. I believe Peru. He needs to be smart now. He needs to understand that Wallace is a man who will show you something and play something else.
Look at it. He's got a smile on his face. He knows exactly what he's doing. But boy, oh boy, it was such a close matchup. Cannot rule away Erik as well. I mean, for a moment it felt like, yeah, if he could have just prolonged the game a little bit longer, had he just held on to that spell, it could have, the overtime would have ended and eventually he would have won. So it's not like that it was an easy cakewalk for Wallace. He still had to fight for that. But yeah, just waiting for the next game to begin. And it could really go either way. So according to your theory, this should be Peru, right?
I mean, that's just a theory, but it's been proven correct twice.
Yeah.
And both were reverse sweeps.
Okay.
Third time, is it a charm or is it a curse?
All right, you're getting at something over there because we have actually seen that happen. But yes, finally, folks, we are on to game number 2 and anything could happen once again as Erik this time starts off pretty aggressive and does have that hero Barbarian barrel at the play, but could not get enough damage out. Still, the E-Spirits were enough, and now, all right, he's got the Hero Royal Archer there. Look at this. The Royal Hogs also following up for Wallace. Still looking pretty good.
Yeah, it's going to be a good game to witness, because on one side you have the hero Royal Archer, on the other side you have the hero Barbarian. So it's basically range versus melee at the hero part at least. But I want to see what the last two cards are from Wallace. Remember, he played it really smart. He waited for that perfect timing. And Erik, however, he was baited in the previous game to invest on that fireball and to actually lose out that game. But overall, no worries there. Still 2 cards left to be played out. 2460 HP remaining on the left-hand side tower. The Dark Prince in play, followed up by an E-Spirit. I want to see what happens with that Spirit. Well, it's going to be shut down, so will the Dark Prince be. And counter Dark Prince play immediately starts from Wallace.
All right, so at this point, Erik, he's got his Goblin Heart. All right, to tank enough damage there. And even the hero Barbarian barrel this time, hoping that he gets a hit at the very least. Oh, that was gonna hurt.
Yeah, it's gonna hurt a lot, but not too much. That's a good part. The Royal Hogs being pushed up forward. The Tesla Tower absolutely nullified at this point. All right, it survives with barely 10% HP left. Any oncoming move will have basically no problem with that Tesla Tower. But this time, the hero being deployed up ahead, not at the back lines. The Royal Archer still creating so many problems. Dark Prince being cycled back. The Wizard. It's a good hit. That's a great hit. Beautiful play made by Erik. But can this Royal Archer, can this hero Royal Archer make a lot of difference? 1657 HP still remaining on that left-hand side tower.
Yeah, this looks really interesting. I mean, so at this point, it's pretty much going to OT, that we know for sure, but no. Hold on. Royal Hogs, the Evo version of it. Magic Archers. So much happening. Even Wallace is responding one with his own. But this is all about Wallace trying to be playing extremely safe. Because if he can somehow get through the 3x Elixir and just be even defensive, that should suffice. That should be enough to at least take Erik down.
Well, the log being saved up. A card still to be played along with the log. Which card is it? Wallace. Come on, man. Show us what you got. Show us what you got up your sleeve. The log being played again. Every time to shut down just that Dark Prince. He cannot come forward. The Tesla Tower denying everything onto that Royal Hogs. But again, the Dark Prince being responded by another. Cycled back. Another Dark Prince in play. But the Wizard will do so much damage. Followed up by another Spirit being played. Again a Royal Hog, again a Tesla Tower. Fixes, it seems like we're just stuck in a time loop at this moment.
Yeah, it's a never-ending cycle, but a cycle in which now even Erik, he's done so much. The final last minute to go, and anything could potentially happen. The hero, Magician, at the go, but no, the lightning spell comes out. Erik had this handy. The Tesla Tower from Wallace. It is looking to be a very close game as another chip coming in from the Royal Hogs. And now, let's see what this Hero Wizard has up in stores for us. A little bit of damage, but not enough.
Not enough. Hero Wizard will not be able to take down the tower. 631 HP still remaining. The Hero Archer back in play. What is that last card? What is Wallace waiting for? It's 19 seconds to go. And then it is the lightning. It was being saved up all until this point. But not much done. Not much done. Erik, he has set up that comeback and Wallace knows he has messed it up. It was way too late to use that lightning spell. And that Archer Tower on the left will fall.
Yeah, man, that has to hurt. That definitely has to hurt. But kudos to Erik, man, especially with how he stays that comeback. Initially, when the game began, we were all wondering that, okay, all right, if it goes towards the end of the overtime, Wallace still has that lead. Wallace still has got it. But again, that immense pressure coming in from the Royal Hogs, from the Wizards, all of that combined, those constant chipping damage. And then that lightning strike that he saved up. And I feel like, yeah, it was a little too late. But then again, Peru staging a beautiful, beautiful comeback. And now it is up to the decider, folks. We did tell you you're in for a banger of a game, and that is exactly what we had to offer. But everything set aside, I'm curious to see what these two guys have in stores for us.
Well, I do want to see what these two guys have in store for us. But it's the last game. It is the final game for the winner brackets, at least for round 2. And then we have 3 more games lined up today. We'll find out what happens there. But whoever wins this faces off Kazakhstan in one of the games later today in the winner bracket semifinals. So, the decks being selected. Overall, final decisions being made. But the question still remains, is this another reverse sweep? Because if it is, Fixes, I am going to lose my mind.
Listen, man, it was not me who brought it up. It was you. So, I mean, what do I say? So you gotta, I mean, as the stat dictates, could be Peru, because even in the first game, we saw Erik. He came in oh so prepared for this matchup, right? He knew exactly what he had to do, and it seems like we've got the third game all readied up, all set to go. So let's see what happens. It's all about Erik. I think finally he's also confirmed his picks, and within the next couple of minutes, we should be on to game number 3, the decider game, folks. And do let us know, who do you think is going to take this victory home?
Well, a good combo of the Evo heroes last time. Hero Barbarian Barrel and the Hero Magic Archer. I wonder though, will Erik play something similar? Range combined with melee? Or is it going to be completely range? Now, we have seen decks that has been completely either melee with some good spells combined. Well, looks like we'll find out. Here we go. Game number 3 for the 4th game of the upper brackets of round 2. Starting off with a rage, 2900 HP still remaining. So that's just 147 HP damage done with the first wave from Erik. Talking about Wallace, no value found. It's just a defensive start from his side.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at this point, an early fireball, that did really help him against the Hero Magic Archer there. But now the Rascals are being deployed along with the Skelly Balloon, and the Hero Wizard being brought down courtesy of those vines. So quite poetic things going on over here.
No doubt about it, Fixes. But look at how much the pace of the game has slowed down. Initially, in game number 1, it was Wallace attacking, and attacking. In game 2, it was Erik attacking. Yeah, he does get a hit.
Oh.
But not too much damage done.
The guards.
Coming back to the point, in game 2, it was Erik and Wallace exchanging blows. But now in game 3, it's a complete strategic defensive play. And there go the balloons. The skeleton balloons go up forward. Good timing on that wizard. That Evo wizard. Perfectly timed, perfectly dropped. Let's see how much value it gets onto the right side Archer Tower.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm excited to see, because this time Erik, he's gone in for some heavy smacking, man. Look at this. Ooh, all right. Slightly unlucky, but Wallace is counting a lot on that push. The Skelly Cake, he makes an appearance and should be enough to take down the RG. And now, heading on forward. All right, Fisherman. So the RG Fisherman deck at display. I'm curious to see what can he bring out of this one, because look at even the wizard. He was brought so low, Captain.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But moving on, all the cards again have already been played from Erik. Wallace still saving up one card up his sleeve. Let's find out what it will be. The Zaps being sent up forward. It's a 2-lane push. It's been split up on either side. It has to be defense on either sides, or just commitment onto one. Let's find out what Wallace decides. 7 seconds left for overtime. We will be definitely going for it. There's going to be no game without any overtime. But now the Wizard, we had so much damage done. 1643 HP remaining on that Archer Tower, as well as the attack being slightly nullified on the left-hand side.
All right. This time an attack coming in from the right-hand side. In OT, I think Hero Magic Archer doing enough damage. And now, all right, will get hooked. There you go. Not be a difficult task, but there you have it. The Royal Giant is being saved up by Wallace. And he's already starting to chip down on the right-hand side. But still, that being set aside, look at Wallace's left tower. It's brought down pretty low, and we've seen in the last push, the Rascals did get through. But this time, the Hero Wizard did not let that happen.
Yeah. I mean, a good placement was found even on the right-hand side lane, but on the left-hand side, it's been problems for Wallace all throughout. Be it in the first or the second or the third game. And again, the Hero Wizard, look at the damage being done, but it's not enough to stop that attack. The Wizard will be cycled back immediately so that this attack is nullified. However, on the left-hand side, the Skeletons will pop up immediately and get shut down. But nothing to worry about. HP being chipped off. Oh, it is a big thing to worry about. 519 HP just remaining. And looks like both the sides will be pressured at the same time. Erik on his way to close up another reverse streak. Great job done so far. Another push coming through. The barrels just keep coming. The Skeletons just keep dropping. And finally, that last card has been played. It is going to be that RG which is sent forward. But nothing will create problems as much as this one. The Zap will counter it. The defense will hold on. And it's game over. It should be in favor of Erik. Is it?
Wait.
It could be in favor of Wallace as well. It was 615 on the left-hand side Archer Tower.
The other side was 500. I remember it had been brought down to somewhere around 500.
598-ish, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
yes.
it was a very close one. But Erik, I think, still being the winner, I guess has to be Erik. Yes, indeed. Indeed. And even Wallace knows that was a hard-fought battle. Especially in that final few seconds, just saving up that fireball. But imagine, had he not had that little chunk of damage, it could have been Wallace's game. But kudos to Erik, man. Peru defeating US. And Wallace, for him, the journey does not end over here. Still gets pushed back to the lower brackets. Could bounce back from there. But what a fantastic display by Erik.
I have just two statements, Fixes. Number one. Wallace needs to stop keeping that one card safe until the very last second.
True that.
That's number one. And number two is, every game which has not been a 2-0 has been a reverse sweep.
I mean, we are theory crafting and they are soon turning out, in fact, they are actually turning out to be real. So I think with all the round 3 matches being done from the upper